What's the deal? What's going on? Savvy 100, welcome back to Savage Studios. Woo! We just hit 2,000 subscribers. Yahoo! Anyways, man, thanks for that. Welcome back to the channel, man. Be sure to smash that thumbs up, share it, like it, do whatever you want to do, dismiss it. Dump it in the trash can. After all, man, it's up to you. That's how we do it over here. I'm going to share this funny story. I've shared it with a few people in real life, man, but okay, let's get right into it. Screw it. In the pen, you don't really care. You don't discriminate on who is going to break the rules for you and who's going to bring you something and slide some underneath your door. You don't really cry about who it is. You kind of finesse it regardless. Gender, race, anything. You don't discriminate. So, here I am in the hole. My boy, Sporty from Compton. He's my celly at the time. And, I'm bird bathing or whatever, and his psych tech comes. Like, a psych tech is somebody who walks by the door. They ask you, hey, how you doing? They can pull you out. You guys can talk or whatever, like, about how your mental health is doing. Because when you're in the hole, you start to deteriorate. Anyways, dude walks up on the door. I'm just finished up with my bird bath. I'm cleaning the sink, wiping it down. And he's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm here for, he says my celly's last name. Okay, cool. Give me a second. Go back to continue wiping, and I look back up at the cell window, the front door, and he's just like, the old guy is just like hawking, hey. And I'm like, what's up, man? What's cracking? Instantly, just like that. I'm like, I can finesse this dude just by the way this dude's creeping. So I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, I can't remember how it came up. He had a Green Bay Packer hat on, right? And I says, oh, man, you like Green Bay? I'm like, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm just clowning, you know what I'm saying? Just small talk and shit. And he's like, who's your team? I'm like, the Steelers or whatever. And he's like, he looks back at he's like, you like coffee? And I was like, yeah, man, we're in the hole, man. Of course we love coffee, man. That's like one of our joys, man. We wake up, make that cup of coffee, man. That helps you and your celly get along better. It's the whole vibe, you know what I'm saying? So he turns around, looks back at the tower, and pulls out these single packet Starbucks coffee instant shots, and he slides them on the door, and he's like, here. He's like, don't tell him I gave you that. You're gonna get me in trouble. So I'm like, cool. Instantly I tell my celly, like, bro, your psych tech, that fool is crackable. He's crackable. So he's like, you think? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, because he didn't want to ever go talk to him. He would be like, man, he's just an old gay guy. I don't want to go talk to him. I'd be like, bro, go talk to that dude, man. Go out there and talk to him. Sure enough, dude goes and talks to him, have a couple conversations. He comes back. He's like, bro, I think we can get a cell phone. I'm like, I know we can. We can get this guy to slide his whole soul underneath the door for us if we just finesse him. So, a couple weeks goes by. He can only go out, I think, once or twice a week. Then you start to raise suspicion. So the homie's coming out, and then bam, sure enough, we get our clap. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we get it, old dude's like, hey, man, just go ahead and call me at this number. I want to talk to you, because now, the boy done finessed it. But this is the tricky thing about finessing people in our position that are in those positions, right? They want something too. In this world, nothing's for free. So you got to be willing to kind of give and take a little bit. Now, the good thing for me is I get to sit back and reap the benefits while the homie's got to do the hard work with this dude. So I'm not going to throw the homie under the bus too much. But let's just go ahead and say, what do you think the old creepy man wanted? You know what I'm saying? You think he wanted some convo? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So here I am on the phone, doing my thing, right? My psych tech comes over. This big, tall lady. Big old Amazonian Deckham. And we're cool. We're kind of talking and shit. And she's like, hey, man. She's like, I want to let you know something, because I've been talking to you for a minute. And our conversation had kind of went a little inappropriate, and she even told me, she was like, she's like, but I don't want to lose my job, and maybe after 2 years, if I was to see you or something, then maybe, because I guess that's the allotted statute of time limitations or whatever, that they can do that, where it's like, doesn't mess with their profession. So she's like, hey, can I just tell you something? I'm like, what's up? She's like, your celly's psych tech is under investigation, for bringing you guys stuff. So really be careful. What? I'm like, as she pulls me out, my bad. My phone keeps reaching its recording limit, so I got to delete some stuff. But anyways, as I'm down there talking, boom, the COs rush. They rush my pad from the bottom. They come in through the bottom of C section to B section. They run up to the stairs to the top tier, and boom, electronically opening the door and all this good stuff, man. And bam, they're in there. And they get everything. They get the cell phones. They get everything. Well, guess who I see walking through the tundra in handcuffs? The old man. The old psych tech got walked off in handcuffs. And while I'm in the stand-up cage, she's telling me, because the cops are coming towards me, but she's telling me, she's like, I told you. I'm like, hey, it is what it is. I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I'm chilling. You know, I'm like, what? Well, I'm out here with you. She's like, yeah. And then the cop goes and he's like, hey, man. He tells her, you got to cut it short. I need to talk to him. I was like, I got nothing to talk about. He's like, well, we're writing you and your cellie up for the phones. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm maxed out anyways. Do your worst. You know, do what you got to do. I'm not really tripping. So when they take us to the little tundra in the middle of the unit, there's like a tundra and shit where they'll let you go to cut your hair and shit with the clippers. If you've been in the pen, especially to a level 4 180 or even to a 270, most likely a 180, you know what I'm talking about. So we're in the tundra, and you know my cellie's denying that he got it from that dude, and that old guy is saying a whole nother story, saying how my cellie has been pressuring him, threatening his life, blah blah blah. So the COs come back and he's like, so you never sent that guy any pictures? And I look at my cellie and I'm like, what the fuck? And my cellie like, pictures? What the fuck you talking about? He's like, so this isn't you? Oh man, I never wanted to see my cellie in any of those positions, and that much of my cellie ever, and it was disgusting. So when I see the pictures, but I know my boy, you know what I'm saying? He got a finesse, you know, he's doing what he can do for a cell phone. Those bitches go for $1,200 to $1,500 a pop. So, and it's like being free. But I look over when I see the pictures, I look over at my cellie, and I start busting up. He's so red. At this point, my cellmate is so fucking red. And I'm like, oh, damn. And the CO start laughing. And my cellie's like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. You know, whatever, goes on and cuss him out or whatever. But, yeah, man, so we ended up getting written up, like 90 days, no get back. You can't get that time back or whatever. No big deal. We was already in the hole. I had a 9-month shoot term. He was whatever shoot term he had going. My boy was stripping for them dollars for that phone, and I didn't even know. Thank God. Gotta do what you gotta do then, I guess, right? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this fucking story, man. I was telling somebody about it the other day in person, and I haven't said this one on camera and shit, but that's the homie right there. You know, he's a fool, dog. That fool's a fool, but it's not even the first time. This is actually a very common scenario. It happened a lot, like in Salinas. There were COs that would give you like a whole shoebox full of shit, dope, phones, everything, but they was, you know, on that homosexual tip. So, you know, what they expect back in return, if they're sending you a camera phone, I'm sure you can only imagine what they're gonna want back. But I don't know, man. Would y'all sell out for a phone in prison? Would you do it? Let me know, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. I'm out, man. My phone acting funny. Those 2,000 subscribers, baby. We in.